Saba boy. Saba yo. Le climat m'a mon dit. On va pas où est loin. Le bocon non est si à bober. Nous n'y voilà. La fille le kéla. Ouais, pas son école t'as mon père. Je te chablo là so. Comme les jojo. Comme les comme les ouais. Moi si à loin. Le bocon les jojo sien. Comme les comme les ouais. Elle s'est volé la trouve sur nous n'y voilà. Pas on y va son mon nom sur ta mon père. Moi dewa. La Luki. Pas on y va son mon nom sur ta mon père. Clo. Ani ablie sogo abaira. Onu kwedu sialuwe. Na chiawe sialuwe. Bobia wena. Yegbere klaluwe. Sedre yokonwo. Wako isi aboble la tuwa suwa nuni wele. Ikomo suwa keno kwa divwa. We mwana davino sonwe ye. Tamo bien do mo igwe o. Komne jojo mama. Komne we. Anu ese aboble la tuwa suwa nuni wele. Mojo siawe kwa nyokon wa nu trouble de. Jamuni pote wa o loyon. Tutu pote wa o. Onu loyon duwe. Papa we de mo. Kona se bole la tuwa so we nu ni wele. Wala nyoma koma si mu e ma go bi man ju so la ne ma yon we. Mo je de la yon ba o. Mo so na yo. Mo je dia ma yon ba. Na mo wa uru o. Mo je che ada yon ba. Na mo so na yo. Ya lui qui pote wa o, wala nyoma jagwe mu lui qui pote wa o. Atati pote wa o. Ala nyoma kwa we de mo, ana te gole la tu wa zo we nu ni wele. Nigba so en sogo ta mu pe o. Petit kefen, ma de. Sorry gelo. Bébé Kari, laisse à ce du soir le bandi. La fino. Ase Idawe ma, Eberodi, Yala, Steveri, Seve de Côte d'Ivoire, moi ouais. Mon boko we de loin, on était volé la tour, on n'y ouais. La libation, l'oyon sous ta mon père. Yamon le pote wa o, Feri du sous pote wa o. Libre ya bouin sogo, iba indi. Boko we de mo salu wa kon ye nyamuo nje blo yanju we baga Nigeria oda ye nyombo ye mono Nigeria oda we kon ye nyamu mo boko we de mo su we wa kon ye nyamuo
no abel ke ono Jose ke wanu blo yondai Yesu e sablo de filo de kela le mitan e podai mo du mo popo ya bi de Rosette ne Oko we dan mo obian le nyemo Oko we dan mo obian le nyemo Mande Roseli Mande Lucky o na se ko wenyo na se ko wenyo Mande Geneviève I don't think you na se ko wenyo na se ko wenyo Ko wala ni sa boble Kayo Julien Ile ono ligio na se ko wenyo Nyoma jega mo bangu Masino de Masino. Yes, I been there. Agio is a covenant. Maman dit Florence. Son Catherine. On get à des génies, c'est a covenant. Angèle Founé Bleka. Anon papa dit Agio, n'a pas pour y aller. Nana Colette. Ah, non, ouais, agno. Mate Hélène. La de Joséphine. C'est un homme, ouais, agno. Ole, ole. Je m'en appuie à moi, maman, ah, maman Taylor. Petit José n'a pas, comme moi. C'est à quoi, maman? Pas une origine. On a posé pour bébé, Daniel. Mais bon, il n'a
Good evening, good evening, good night, good night, good night, good night, folks. Again, Samson to happy New Year. We're still here. Thank God for all of us. Oh my God, we thank you for this new year. Continue to guide us, bless us, give us long life, man. Lord, thank you very much. We're back again. Thank you for tuning in tonight for Library Public Radio. We're going to say Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you, the audience and the Liberian people. From us to you, Happy New Year. Thank you, thank you. Samson told. Let me quickly here get myself prepared. I'm still trying my best, so let's do this. We want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. Thank you very much. Please share this video, share it to as many people as possible. Hopefully they will join us here on this wonderful New Year Eve, New Year Day, that is. And we want to thank all of you for tuning in again tonight. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. We're going to share the show with the analysts here very shortly. We're going to share the show with the analysts very shortly. But let me see if I can even start that now. So wonderful thing to have you. What's wrong with the glass? Okay. That's fine. People know I don't drink liquor anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right. Let's move. My son brought me water in another glass, and I wanted you guys to see the water purely. That is water. But who cares? Who cares? So let me share this show here very quickly. To those brothers and sisters that want to join me tonight, join me. But you're gonna give me some minute. Let me finish my program here, and then as soon as I'm done, that will bring you on board. So please bear with us. As soon as I'm ready, I'm gonna share it. But when I'm ready, I will invite you immediately. So I have some stuff that I'm gonna be reading here tonight as well, and then we'll talk about our program or what is happening. Okay, so let me share it to those people who perhaps will be able to rescue me, as Rescue 2 has done over the years. Okay, folks, Samson to Labrapa Radio. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Please share this video to as many people as possible to join us and have conversation here this evening. With tonight, we will exclusively focus on the past, because there seem to, among the young people, there seem to be some confusion, and I thought we saw a little bit of that tonight on other platform where there seemed to be a little bit of confusion about our country history, and since we do have um, dossier of documents here, boatload of documents here about the past. We will continue to enlighten you. I think at this time, with our age, I think instead of sitting down here and discussing who's stealing and who's not stealing, I think it should be on us now to pass the history on to many of the young people that might have interest in it. Who knows? Maybe they don't. But let's go ahead. Safety, safety. Oh, Lord Jesus. Mm. We want to thank you again this evening. We want to thank you for everything, for making us to come into the new year. We ask, my Lord, that you take us to the next new year, extend our life. Oh my God. I specifically and purposely want to thank you tonight for the opportunity. We work, you give us the opportunity to do a job. And this job that we do, my Lord, you know it's not an easy stuff, but the strength you give us and the love you give us for that job. We find pleasure in doing roadway. Oh my God. Yes, I have to admit that. I have to admit that. I have to admit that. We find pleasure in doing roadway design. Though it's difficult, but we find happiness in doing it. It's not about the money, my Lord. You know that. We get up 4 o'clock in the morning and do these things because it brings happiness to us. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Lord. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank you. Thank you for making us to get into a position, into a job that we love to do, even if it's for free, because you give us the opportunity. Oh, my Lord. Yes. Not many people can say they're working on a project or working somewhere that is so happy. I'm so happy working there that I will be willing to work free. Thank you because of you, my Lord. Thank you for that opportunity. I have to admit, I have to admit, I have to admit, I love money myself, but my goodness, God, where you put me. And I've been able to get up in the morning and still go to work. And I'm happy when I get to work. Thank you. Thank you for shining that light on me like that. My Lord, the new year we're in, continue to give us the opportunity. Let's do what we have to do. We are here because of you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you. And we continue to pray to you. Extend our life. My Lord, we'll come again tonight as we're about to discuss the country of Republic of Liberia. We ask that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the country itself be blessed, that the president of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. Whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, his hand must be blessed by you. Extend his life. Give him wisdom to do what is good for our people. We ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Yes, yes. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you. Again, folks, Samson told, happy, happy, happy New Year, confessing here. The kind of work I do, that's my job. But on a very serious note, I enjoy doing it. I'm going to get paid, but sometimes I get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and do the work. Because I got all the equipment here, I got the equipment in the office, so I get up and do the work. And because of that, I purposely stay away from the moving up position. For what? I want to do design. I want to understand the design process, and I think I got it in my hand. So I can go now and sit back. The procedure, because they do testing from year to year. They do testing of these new trucks. They do testing of the road, but the geometry of the road itself is not going to change right now. You can do all of the guardrail testing and things like that, bring a new guardrail, but the placement of the guardrail will not change right now. Why the guardrail are needed, those ideas will not change. Those formula that give you the one-to-one guardrail setting, they're not going to change. I have that in my hand. Who can say that? Many people will not say that. I'm not anxious. Oh, I'm anxious to retire to do what? To do what? Go to Liberian people, you and the people don't want to even want to listen to you. Let them do it. Do what we ourselves will do what we do here. I want to thank you. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Let me go on. So, like I said, exclusively tonight is going to be about the past. So, I'm going to go ahead and read most of the things I'm going to be doing here from this time to from time to time. I want people to understand my intent. Actually, my intent is to why? Why was it that Liberians? Is it because of a different tribe situation in Liberia? Is that what we went to war for? Was it because based on tribalist behavior? Why? Why? And one of the good thing about those of us that like reading, well, I'm not one of them, but people who like reading, when you start reading people writing, they might not be able to lead you to a whole somebody will give you some portion of it. And when you read here and read there and read there and read there like we will do here, you will find out what was happening. It's like putting cloth together, piecing cloth together. You take the piece, put it here. You want to make a quilt, a blanket. You take the piece, put it here. You take it, and before you know, you get in there. And this is what we intend to do here. I want to thank all of you again. Happy, 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 happy New Year. Let's continue to pray for one another. And please do the best you can. As a human being, do the best you can. Don't give up. Don't give in. Be your best at always. Do the best you can. Even if they tell you that go and catch dog, be the best dog catcher. Even if you decided I want to go to eating competition, be the best eater. You can't do anything half-ass. That's not gonna work for you. It's not good for your spirit, and it's not good for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. We all like money, but don't go after the money so much because money is materialistic behavior. Do things that you'll be happy inside. Because here's the thing here, I believe, I could be wrong, I'm not a scientist, but if you're happy inside, even disease said before they come to you, they themselves can be wondering what happened here. What happened? They may they're not playing to go because you're happy inside. And when you're happy inside, your mind explore a lot of stuff. So I will urge all of you to do things that you love to do. Now you will say, but there's certain time, Mr. Toe, we have to do to survive. I agree with you. I agree with you. You have to do it to survive. Makes sense. But in the process of doing it to survive, bring some happiness in it for yourself. Because if you don't do that, you will be miserable. And if you're miserable, those of you that work in the factories, those of you that work in areas that have to do with dangers, you can hurt yourself because you're not concentrating. So do things that will bring happiness to you. Your happiness is very important. What people say about you, what people do to you, is not who you are. They don't make you up. They don't make you who you are. Whatever they say about you, it doesn't mean that's what you are. You allow people word to get to you if you say, yeah, bring it on. And you accept it. But if you say, yeah, bring it on, you go, but please, you don't touch me. Because first of all, you have to know who you are. And by this time, you know who you are. And as a result, people who don't know you, even people think that they know you. They say, oh, that's it. No, that's not you. Be yourself. Always be yourself. Be yourself. Don't let people push you around. Resist respectfully. Resist civilized way. Samson told. New Year, Happy New Year. Let's go on. So last year, we were reading to you about the issue with two-way party and the progressive. Now, you said, but who is the progressive now? It's 2026 now. We're going to give you a little bit more information. Progressive are those young Liberians that have had opportunity to educate themselves outside of Liberia. Hmm? Outside of Liberia. And so these people, having had their education, many of them felt, many of them felt that many Liberians, indigenous Liberians for 100 plus years, were not just marginalized, they were excluded in every operation of the governing process of the Republic of Liberia. Majority of the Liberian people were excluded. And so when these young people, many of them who also happen to be some of them from the elite class, or some from the half elite, half indigenous class, they decided, look, this is not sustainable, and we have to speak out. And they decided to challenge the system that was then the two-way party system. It was one political party, one political party system in Liberia. So when the election time comes, the president win 250%. There's no opposition. So these guys said, no, we're gonna have to try to change that. So I remember when they first started, it was a little bit difficult for some of us to follow them. Because at that time, the only thing we knew were who? Aberport. Aberport was just a one-man soldier. In fact, by the time my eye opened in Monrovia, Aberport were already too old. So Dr. Tipote and his Moja group, they started opening it up. And when the progressive came in, power came in, they took it to the next level with no fear whatsoever. I'm not too sure if I will use the word no fear, but for me, they were not afraid. And they decided to challenge the system. And immediately, their presence was felt by the two-way party quickly in Monrovia. There was those in the two-way party, according to history, that rejected any way or form to even acknowledge that indeed there exists a progressive. They feared that by acknowledging that the progressive were there, that indeed their time was just their time was numbered. They knew that it was just a matter of time when the progressives started singing a song. Because think about it. I grew up in Town. I think I told you guys this story before. And Town is a seat, chiefdom seat of Bi chiefdom. Big chiefdom. In fact, my grandfather, back the way back, he used to be parliament chief of the chiefdom. But when I was growing up, my eyes started opening a little bit. They used to collect hot taxes. And I tell you guys this story. There's a town in Nima County called Growing. When you go, my mom myself used to go to Monrovia. I used to follow her. When you go into Monrovia, when you get to Growing, everybody in that bus, in that pickup bus, will come down. And you better show the older folks, better show her tax receipt. You get receipt, they put you on the side. Children, whether you got baby or not. And people used to cry. They didn't have their hot tax. I forgot my paper. But how you go way back to Maryland to go get your paper before you come past Glory? It was terrible. And one other place, they have a gate. Kissy Boy. You know what they call Kissy Boy? Carisburg. But back then, the people call it Kissy Boy. Kissy Boy gate. You can't play with you. Two-way party have a system. Not only to deny the indigenous, but to extract from the indigenous their pay, money to pay the staffer. But yet still, in that their system, the staffer were not from outside either. I'm not saying these things here to divide. We passed that stage. You can't find one Congo man standing up anymore. We're all Liberian. Every one of us. And you can't, I must say now, Congo man. I leave from there, go to Liberia and change their Congo man. So you can't come here and say you Congo man or you country. There's no country Congo anymore. We're speaking strictly from the perspective of history here. On this first day of 2026. Why am I doing this? Because there are those Liberians that have, young Liberians that have within them to blame other Liberians for the fault of all of us as Liberians. That we didn't do well to preserve the sanctity of Liberia, to preserve the constitution process of Liberia. Every one of us. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, I don't know anything about it. No. We all, every one of us, responsible. As long in 1989 that you are of our age, you are responsible. Nobody's gonna try to take themselves from it. But the thing about it now, many Liberians are now trying to cherry pick certain group of Liberians to say you were there, you did this, you were no. And because of that, we're going to go through this process. And I'm just starting from 79. I'm not even going back to 71. What's his name? Coma, Totman time, or even go way back during the Southtown War and all the kind of. We're not going to do that. We're going to go and start from 79. So these two we party members, not all of them, want to start a coup. There were those two party members who were also at the highest top. They were willing to risk all to include the indigenous in the process because they have seen the light that if we don't do this, when these people come to power, which will happen sooner or later, that they will now try to kick back on us. Let's bring them on board. The like of Tubber, President Tubber. He has so many policy. Mat to mattress. Who were on a mat those days? That the indigenous. The Congo people were not on mat, they were already on mattress. So why would Tubber say mat to mattress? Who is he bringing to mattress? The indigenous that were already on the mat. And he wanted them to come up. There were those in the two party that said, no, this mat, they stayed down on the mat. Mattress for us. And he was fighting them. But many of the progressive was not willing to have the way of Tubber trying to appease the highliner in the two party. They said, no, we're not going to do that. Either you guys come, let's shake hands and get on with one man, one vote, or we don't have any conversation with you. And they decided they were going to challenge the system. So when the progressive, when they get on board and started explaining to the natives, the sons and daughters of the natives, it was easy for those people that were listening to them to gravitate to them. Because many of the things they were saying, we have experienced it. I told you, I was in Tota. You don't pay your taxes, and I'm not alone. Any other Liberian that grew up in the 70s, late 70s, okay, in the villages now in Monrovia, will tell you when you don't pay your tax, they make you sit and tie your hand behind your back and put your knee on the rock, sedimentary rocks. You know, I was sedimentary, right? You know how strong they are. They make you put your knee on it, and they make you look in it. Don't close your eye. The messenger standing by you. Don't close your eye. Look in the sun. Where's that $10 going? The $10 for which you're punishing people. Where would the $10 going, my people? Where was that $10 going? Going to Monrovia. Is it coming by? Not much. They take $10, they send $1.50 by. And so when the progressives started talking about those things, it was easy for some of us to see. So, oh yeah, I was there when that man was crying, my people, you come for me. I was there in the sun. And I was not unique. That was not unique to me, many Liberians. So the progressive, the two party highliner termed and classified them as being agitators. One of the things the progressive didn't do, and I keep saying that, they were also not able to actually enlighten us in the power of one man, one vote. They argue for it, one man, one vote, but they were not telling us if you have it, how to protect it, if you have it, how to use it, if you have it, what are the processes involved, how important it is. They didn't tell us those things. But why would you blame them on that as well? They don't have the time. They thought the time was too getting too fast for them. And so they decided to engage. Monrovia those days was not an easy place to be. If you're someone, I don't know why, and Mr. So said, he said we need to establish some kind of a how do you call it, true center here, because every bad thing, like, bro, they may involve in it, we have to question you. Of course, if you want to question me, that's fine. I can say what I know. What I don't know, I will not say it. So let's move on. To many of you that are watching, I want to thank you again on this wonderful, wonderful New Year Day. But like I said tonight, the exclusive uh, information here exclusively for the past history. So the progressive, they didn't have access to state media. Those days you have EWA and ELBC. Wilmore, Stubberfield. Again, for ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you, good afternoon. This is the superstar Wilmore Stubberfield. If you want to listen to the good music here this afternoon, turn to ELBC. You see what I'm going at it? And then the music will start playing. And EWA was the group that will bring us news in our different dialects. And those, but the progressive didn't have access to that. So the progressive could not reach people in the interior part of the country, except those who come from the interior to visit their relative in Monrovia, having to get some news and take it back. But most of the problem they had was the young people in Monrovia. And the progressive were very keen on that. Because at that time, the state university, LU, is in Monrovia, it's still in Monrovia. But at that time, it was really respected. Foreigners used to come from all over West Africa to come and learn at the state university. They have teachers from all over the world will come and teach at the state university. So the progressive were very keen on that. They decided, hey, we're gonna go there too and teach. I keep telling you guys this story. Doctor, Professor, what's his name? Wilson Tapper. I've never met him since my GW days. When he was minister, I don't even think he doesn't even know me anyway. But when Professor Tapper comes to teach us, he was supposed to teach us economics. He has about 2.5 hours. 2 hours for the bad thing the government doing. GW elementary school, and we were getting those messages. In fact, it was through that Professor Tape when I got news of the progressive, and when he said they're gonna meet, I decided to follow and see. So Professor Tape will come and explain to us. Then after all of that, then I went to Wilson High. At that time, I was in high school in 10, 11th grade. And then we have another professor. I'm feeling forgetting his name, but he was a history professor. And when he goes into the navigating, the navigating, what the people from Middle East, when he start talking about those government, and then he tie it in with two. Oh my goodness, the kind of knowledge people got in our country, it was not easy. It was not easy. It was not easy. These people I'm talking about, when they're ready to teach you, they have a way of teaching and blending it into Liberian society. And those of us that soak it in, we were able to do that. But anyhow, so the progressive was able to challenge. And after the race riot, the progressive became well known. And one of the things the progressive was successful at was to get into the state security apparatus. Were able to get into the army. If you were in Monrovia those days, army team from BTC when they go play any team at Tottenham Stadium. They don't lose. They lose your with flocking. The army people they come with whoop. If they don't win, you better be quiet. You're supporter on that team. You better be quiet as you're going home. You get in the street to celebrate because you beat them. They will flock. Miguel, good afternoon, good evening, sir. Happy New Year to you as well. The liberal is just happy to be alive. We say thank God. All of us were here. Thank you. But if the army team they come and they're not successful in winning, they're going home. And your team win and you start celebrating with the belt. They call gun belt. You know, it was about almost 6 inches wide. It's the one they put their canteen there on when they will flog you. When they finish with your rotten, when they finish with you, not come back again. So I'm a team, don't play with it. When they come in to play, most of the team that they can play is yeah, you come and play. I'm again. You be careful. But what the progressive did, they were successful in separating in the army, in separating the happy birthday, happy New Year, Clarence. Thank you. They were able to separate in the army those that were being affected. They were able to separate them. And what happened to God? You know, when God said this is what happened, it coming, it coming, it coming. No, no, nyama nyama. I believe 1976 or so. Okay, either 76 or 77. The army, the Liberian government, commissioned army, corporal, captain, lieutenant. And those days when you're coming from private to cap to corporal or private or whatever, PSC or whatever, it you always get like maybe $10, $15 pay raise. And somebody who was making $125 from being a sergeant or something, and they're raising him, making $175, that's a lot of money. That will allow that person to marry 4 or 5 wives. A lot of money. After they did that, in less than 2 days, the government of Taba administration came back and rescind those things. That the army had never forgotten. So the progressive was able to use that as well. But I'm going to go on now to read these things here. And I want you to pay attention to some of the engagement. It was very interesting, to be honest with you. It was very interesting. In fact, I have a letter here that Marcus Matthew wrote when he was thrown in jail after April 14th. And in that letter, he apologized. And you know, the liberal leader then from Tower Town, they're easy to get to. You start pressing them, they melt. Marcus Matthew started singing praises to Tower. We young people, we don't know how to, we can only run, but we know how to hide. No kind of fish, I love you more, I love you, jellyfish, love water, that kind of sentiment. And Tower fell for him, of course. But anyway, we'll get to that. So let me go ahead and read this now. Now that I got your attention, let's go ahead and read it. Okay. Let's go ahead. Where was that over here? I think yes, okay. Okay. Commentary. Burning down the city. Remember now, I told you the other day the government were accusing progressive of burning down the city when Tobo was out. So let me read to that. Let me read on that again. Burning down the city. The government statement happened to be destruction of the fact of power release. Therefore, it does not merit detailed comment from the organization. Anyone who has passed the third grade can see from past release that it has not threatened to burn down the city. The organization simply mentioned the remark it has heard. It does not seem to bother the government that the people are convinced it will shoot them down. One of the things the power say you see, this is where the smart group of Liberian, this is what they were doing. They say, y'all remember y'all remember April 14th? If you were not taking it, they were just shooting you. They say now they're giving a straight all on that shoot on sight. So that's what it has done so before. Let me read that. It does not seem to bother the government that the people, excuse me, that the people are convinced it will shoot at them. It has done so before. So fear of the people are justifiable. It is very strange that the government seems concerned only about what the people would do after the lives of some of them are taken. Now, there was those group, and I can attest to that because we were some of those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll burn it down. We'll burn it down. There was a group from. I remember this story well. There was a group from Looking Town and a group from New Crew Town. They were coming to meet us, and we were supposed to meet down Waterside. This was on a weekend, no business. Well, we were coming from the power of it. Were late, so the group claimed the Macklin Street hill. You know that hill when they ready to test you for driving. I said, well, you know how to drive that hill. The people claimed the hill and they went between Minister of Education and Minister of Finance. They were between that. Okay, and is that Macklin Street? I don't know. I feel like I got my street. Anyway, who cares? But we met them and we took them on Benson Street and decided to go towards Pat, towards Getty Street to go to Pat headquarters. So in the process, we were told that this government we shouldn't walk in group like that. We should split ourselves in maybe 5 or 6, seven groups. Because if they see us together like that, the question that I keep asking myself now that I'm older, what the heck was I doing in the street, my people? Why was I was working though? Why was I in the street? Why was I involved with what is that? But that's what we did. Anyhow, so we decided to split. So we heard that the government were going to shoot people on sight. So they said, split yourself. So that when they start running after one group, the other group continue to go. But if we're all together and they run a cycle around us, we will all be trapped. And that was it. So anyway, because then the group say, if they start hurting anybody, let's burn the city down. That is the burning part of the city. Samson too. Yeah. God, please give me long life. Okay, so let's go ahead. It is very strange that the government seems concerned only about what the people would do after the lives of some have been taken away. The aftermath to Chessing. Okay, this is the Chessing now. The same Chessing, before he became Minister of Justice, he used to be poor man lawyer. He used to be one of the lawyers for the progressive. He used to be he used to be considered as how do you call it, paramedic, and he was very good. He was very good. Not only was he good, but he was one of those who really, in the two party, of course, but he was one of those who wanted freedom for everybody. Jackson was just a good man. I know this because not only the store I was working in, that Chinese Spanish store I was working on Benson Street, he used to come and buy big hog legs and stuff like that. So I have never mind. Anyway, at 4 o'clock p.m. on Thursday, September 27th, okay, two men arrived at PI headquarters and requested to see its chairman so as to deliver a message. When told that they had to be such before progressive. Ooh, yeah, Liberian people with something else. Who get your power to search anybody? You're not a police people. You're not so headquarters. So anybody coming to the headquarters must be such. You know where that come from? Right here from Oakland. in California. Black Panther were found here in Oakland. And many of these people will have followed the behavior of the Oakland Black Panther. And this thing was not an easy thing that happened in Liberia. It has connection all over the world. But the two party people refuse to see that. I mean, real. You think that small thing that happened in Montreal, in Liberia? They refused, arguing that they were from the executive mansion. They were told by a young man at the door that they had to be such, even if they were coming from the moon. Progressive. They were not easy to. One of them thought about this for a while, then he agreed. He raised his shirt, removed gun from under his belt. They took gun to Bacchus Mafia office, removed gun from under his belt, and passed it on to his friend. He was searched and he was permitted to enter. He told the chairman that his name is Thomas Godman. Their conversation was as follows. Godman, the Chief Justice would like to see you at 4:30 p.m. Matthew, where? Godman, at the Supreme Court. What? The Chief Justice wants to see me in Supreme Court. Yeah. Matthew, 4:30? Offices are closed by that time. Did he write a letter? Because they were smart people they were dealing with. Government, no. Matthew, you know the government out not to conduct its business by messenger. Already, you go back and tell the Chief Justice that you have delivered the message. Government, is that all? Matthew, did he ask you to do more? Government, no. Good. Oh my goodness, Samson too. Chairman Matthew did not go to the Temple of Justice, but he did contact Chief Justice Pierce that evening. The Chief Justice said he had not sent anyone. This is Liberia. Folks, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. But I'm laughing now, but these are some of the things that caused the problem for the Tui party. There were those who wanted to get rid of Bacchus Mafia. The highliner of the Tui party. They're going to use the Chief Justice name. Let me say again, there were those progressive who also have connection inside the Tui party because most of them, their parents, their relatives are members of the Tui party. Most of them have relatives from the elite as well. So you're not just going to pour wolf over their eyes. So Bacchus Mafia called the Chief Justice that the Chief Justice, no, I didn't say anybody. Nor did he know of anyone being sent to call the chairman. Honorable Joseph J.F. Section, Minister of Justice, has said it was he who wanted to see Matthew. So why they came and said and their chief want to see you business, it also came to me. They did it to me. It was good then that Matthew did not make the mistake of having himself found wandering in the temple of justice after office hour on the eve of the scheduled registration of the Progressive Party, People's Party. Just judicial error. The government contended that Judge Theodore made an error in ordering the closure of the probate court in Musarado County, part member in Nima County, where the organization has its second largest branch is in Nima. The Nimadians have, that's why you don't play with them. Not only are they educated, but they were involved. They know everything. Okay? In Nima, have informed the central office that the probate court in Santa Cruz will also close. Look, but when we look back on these things, that we laugh. But it was a serious business. They did not, the hardliner in the two-way party, they did not want anything to have to do with the progressive. They wanted to make sure these people don't have nothing to do. No way they should be registering political party. So they find out what other office, what other place they have plenty of power members. They say, oh, Nimakana, your clothes, I want to. If so, did the judge there also make a mistake? Speaking out. The Progressive Alliance of Liberia maintain the view that the people of our country ought to speak out loud and clear about their problems. Unfortunately, the government controlled news media engaged in extensive censorship, thereby making it difficult for individual opinion to get published, unless it happened to be pro-government opinion. This paper intends to assist those who wish to get information to the public. Because of that, the birth of the revolution came about because of that. Because the same way now today, the same thing they used to do that, the same thing happening today in Unity Party. CDC people, they can only go on these sponsored media. Why CDC is not being allowed to go to the state media and be heard, even if they are so ridiculous, but they are member of the society. Why are they not letting them? For example, you invite the president, former president, we are. So what happened to the church? Can you talk to the people? That's a state institution. But anyway, this paper intended to assist those who wish to get information to the public. The Akron story. This is not a story here. This is a lady. Before I go, but this lady, she got involved into something that was in favor of Pat, and the government went after her. Let me read that. Akin story. 11 years ago, Mrs. Alina Webster Akin was suspended from her job, charged for embezzlement, dragged into court, and subject to humiliation. Being a poor woman, her case dragged on and on and on. 11 years. That's how it was with the court in the glorious land of liberty. You know what? Glorious land of liberty. That was the glorious land of liberty. Then after 11 years of being a public spectacle, Mrs. Akin was found not guilty by the Supreme Court with the progressive involvement. I know that case. The case came about not too long when the Berry case came up. Remember that young kid that killed on Center Street? And this lady was one of those few people, they didn't write it here, but she was one of those few people that were at the scene, on the scene at the very time it was happening. And she became the witness. But in order to shut her, she was working for the government, so in order to shut her down, they said she stole some money. And for 11 years, they're going to court, sometimes thrown the central prison, sometimes double time. You know double time, right? Where they put their hand behind their head and go, boom, 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 they push you double time. And the Supreme Court eventually find her not guilty. Now, according to the story, she decided when the Chief Justice and the people were being accused of letting those Lebanese boys escape Liberia. And this lady then became very, she didn't want to say it's too much anymore. So that's that. But anyway, that's Liberia for you. Okay? All right. So Mrs. Atkins' family believed that as she was only suspended, it is her right to now be reinstated and giving her salary for each month of the 11 years. The family has distributed an open letter to the president, and it is being reproduced here. This is the letter the family wrote to the president. Dear father of the nation. And you see when I say father of the nation, where it come from? I come and bust my own cigarette into that. You think we here to play around? We know these things. I got this letter. I got this letter. Well, I used the word. He's the father of the nation. This is where it come from. But listen to this. The family wrote into they writing to President Governor. They said, "Dear father of the nation, we bow on our knees, asking God to guide and direct you." Like same way I can do to President Bagana. We bowed on our knees and asking God to guide and direct you to do what is just for the Akin family. What? Ah, my goodness, library story is not easy. What we actually need from you are for you to kindly honor the Supreme Court mandate in our mother's embezzlement case, which was handed down on 15th of January 1979, on 15th of June 1979, quoting Mrs. Allen Webster Acquittal, to kindly honor the recommendation of your Chief Justice, of your Chief Legal Advisor, contained in the letter, blah, blah, blah. Date date July 24, 19, and signed by Minister of Justice. Please regard the memorandum from the Deputy Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, John McLean, dated August 21st, 1979, and all other documents in regard to our murder case that are before you. Finally, Mr. President, we are asking you to kindly take the same stand which you took in the Mose Twelve. You remember Mose Twelve case? Y'all remember that one there? People got hung. Okay, and these people are now playing to the cemetery of you probably you have a that he's the father of the nation. Please, I don't want to discuss the father of the nation tonight. But anyway, the same stand which you took in the Moses 12 case when you ruled that the decision of the Supreme Court could not be questioned and the mandate of the Supreme Court were carried out. Thus, Mr. President, may us respect you the more. We are therefore asking you to kindly take the same stand in our mother's case. Please, Mr. President, see that our mother is reinstated, that she received her check, which have accumulated over the past 11 years while she was under suspicion, and that she got her clearance before you leave the country. Talk about getting ready to go out of the country. Before you leave, we are asking you to kindly do this in the name of God and humanity. Right now, Mr. President, our mother cannot cannot pay her rent. She cannot buy food for us to eat. And as you were informed on August 31st, 1979 by us, I mean by our mother in your office, that we are not going to school because she does not have the money to send us to school. In closing, Mr. President, please permit in closing, Mr. President, permit us, even baby Rachel, who was a little baby, to ask you this one question. The Supreme Court handed down its mandate on June 15, 1979. And today is September 20, 1979. If our mother had been guilty, would it have taken this length of time for its mandate to be enforced? Rally time. You all remember Rally time? No, many of you don't remember Rally time. The structure of yours, Sergeant, no sign, Rachel Ellen Gatkin, Rachel Ellen for the family. Okay, so that's the student. Okay, that's the letter. The student government of Cottonelle University, of Cottonelle University College has had its share of the problem, and it has issued the following self-explanatory release. The student government of Cottonelle University College strongly condemn and frown upon the news broadcast made by ELWA and ELBC on September 24th, 1975, respectively, that Mrs. Julia Cooper of Cardinal University, traveling with President Tubber to America as president of the Student Association of Cardinal University. We were when we realized such a grave mistake, the legal and constitutional president of the Student Association, Mr. Joy Sewe, wrote these new media for correction, but they wrongfully refused to do so due to the refusal of ELWA and ELBC and other paper government authority concerned to correct the alleged error. The uncorrected misleading information has been echoed throughout the foreign media. The recalculating attorney in the correcting the alleged mistake, if it is truly a mistake, lead us to categorically condemn these new media in doing irresponsible journalism, which mislead the people. So those days, ELWA and ELBC, just like they are today, mouthpiece, and they refuse. Anyone who is not there to sing praises to the government, you will not be allowed to speak in any of their studio. We also have a strong impression that there is a conspired design behind the whole affair, calculating for some personal self. Okay, that's the Cardinal University. On the other hand, the Liberian government machinery responsible. Okay, let's go on. Government freaked Nima citizen. Yeah. That's some of the problem here. Oh, government frightened Nima citizen. Saint Dweki. You're not yet Saint Dweki before? You think that small thing that happened in that country? You think that small, listen, look at the name I'm going to be calling them from Nima County that were member of the Progressive. You listen to them. Saint Dweki, assistant superintendent of Nima County, resigned from the Tui party, sought and obtained membership in PAD, and gave one of his house in Sannikri to the organization for use as county headquarters. Yes. Former assistant superintendent. DK Wansley, local chairman in Nima County, planned a dedication program for the opening of the headquarters on September 29, 1979. All citizens in Sannikri were invited. Yeah, power making a role. However, at about noon on that day, the government began an operation under the command of the Superintendent Fulton Dunbar. So what was happening to? I'm just reading these things to you so you understand. They started pitting country against country, that kind of stuff. The local tyrant in the area, officer from the riot squad of the National Police Force and the Lamco Plant Protection Force, bore a mangrove transport bus and drove to the marketplace. They told everyone there to get out quickly because, as they said, Pa was about to stage a demonstration. So after 1979 Rest Riot, everybody was on pin and needle. You can't play with it now. The market women were chased out. In the process, many persons, including babies, were wounded and property was lost and damaged. J.P. Legge, a member of Power Propaganda Committee in Monrovia, happened to have been invited to Sannikri that weekend so as to address the symposium. He arrived, he observed the ugly spectacle and decided to speak to some of the women. Two of the market women told elected that they were carrying fish to sell. By the time they returned to the marketplace, everything was gone. A Manigo woman said she lost $200 during her quick getaway. Another woman complained that why would they say man? Why they can't just say woman? Why they gotta say man? You see, the progressive propaganda, they were not easy. They were not an easy thing. They were there. They were. I mean, these people, they're not somebody to play with. You know. So why would they say man go woman? Huh? Okay. Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Okay. Another woman complained that as soon as the police got back into their bus, she ran to secure her lapper. Club was selling. They had all disappeared. So it seemed that the police themselves too were doing some rioting, some looting. A young lady patiently explained her story. She said that she carried rice to sell for her mother. She saw a crowd rushing towards her, but didn't know what was going on. As such, she picked up the pan of rice she had on a table and ran, leaving half a bag up, half the bag of rice behind. When I was running with the pan of rice, she said, I saw a police coming to me with a big gun. I was scared, so I threw the rice down. I threw the pen and they ran away. That's how it was in Sunny Creek on September 29, 1979. So the government was punishing those who they think were part of it. Woe to the government which has the potential against it. It leaves but a shadow existing. Balasolo Herring 1919. Okay. One more. This is the last page here, and then we will move on to another one. Okay. Liberian in the U.S. demonstrate against Dr. Tuber. We believe that now is not the time to cancel the truth. We know that this one here, I know who wrote it. Oh, not going. Okay. This one I know who wrote it, but I'm not gonna say. Uh, um, we know that the truth may often a number of people who will condemn us, but we are determined to be faithful to reality. That Vietnam, 1968. The public finance was made. The public finance new media has a obligation to taxpayer to properly inform citizens of the country about any matter which affect the interest of the government. The media did not completely fulfill its obligation while reporting on President Tuber's visit to America. This paper wishes to fulfill the need. On September 26, 1979, Liberians in the United States staged a focused demonstration against Dr. Tuber. They gathered before his hotel, before the Liberian consulate, and before the United Nations. Some stood up in the gathering of the UN General Assembly, yelled, and called him names during his speech. Some African diplomats felt offended by the outburst against the OAU chairman. but, but many were surprised to see that Liberians were no longer at ease. Because here's the thing here. Tobo and his people used to pretend and show to the other people, oh, no problem, yo. We the shining star on top of the hill. So when they went to UN and the Liberian student here, Liberian citizen here in the United States felt that these people were like this. And then when they went to the UN and started making that kind of many of the African state leaders were surprised. I told them, man, say everything was fine, like bro, what happened here? Okay. The hostility against the president was not coming from just a handful of people, as Liberian press mentioned only in the passing. These demonstrations were organized by the Union of Liberian Association in America. This was back in 1979, folks. ULA. And you think we don't know these things? Why these developments? Times have changed. In late 1971, Liberians felt a sense of hope for the future, and many returned home from America to offer their services to the new administration. But things turned sour. Tubber raised expectation that he could not satisfy. The presidencies became too closely associated with the microphone slogan, subtitle "Real Achievement." Many became solidly disillusioned, and that's true too, because I believe 1971 when business 1971, when Tubman died, I was in Monrovia, of course. I saw the burial. I went with a group to bury right behind that something up the hill there. I don't know, Ashmore Street or whatever street. But he buried and they put a light. They lit that light. I saw the burial. But I saw his body being put in the hole myself too. I was passing my eye between the. I saw all that. I don't man, how bigger man. But anyway, so but when Tubman became president, many of the young Liberians, including some of the elite Liberians who didn't want to go back, they believed that it was time to go back because they thought that Tawa was going to change stuff a little bit to benefit Liberian overall. But when they get back, nothing changed. Two-way party was entrenched. Two-way party refused to let their foot off of the gas or to let their foot up to the neck of the Liberian people. And many of these young people, including some young, they were not progressive. They were the elite, and they decided, let me find my way back to Liberia. Many began slowly disillusion. Then the April 14th crisis developed. This led many to question the president's sense of judgment and his effectiveness to govern the country. The Liberian community in America asked Dr. Tubber to resign. A series of demonstrations followed in New York, Washington, D.C., May, June, July, and then September. President Tubber expected a hostility. In view of the communication gap between the Liberian diplomat and the Liberian community, officials were sent with large amount of money to keep things quiet. You think the corruption business? You think the brown envelope that just on a recent president? The brown envelope business started a long time ago. So President Tubber, hmm, just so that all the people who are making noise, many of them are making noise, their school fee were not being paid. Liberia story. Liberia story is something else. Many of the people that were making the noise and demonstrating their school fee are not being paid. They don't have paper to work. So Talbot said, okay, we'll settle that. So he so give the diplomat, the Liberian diplomat, minister, the Liberian consulate, give them money for envelope to quiet these people down. But they were not a progressive. The progressive refused to take money. So anyway, uh, a few students did express their support for the president because they got a brown envelope now. You see what's going on now today too, right? A few students, a few students expressed their support for the president. One group was led by the Balin, who in fact is a nephew of Dr. Tubber. The other was led by a Chessing. You know now, right? Though the Progressive Alliance of Liberia has influenced the Liberian community in America, the organization holds as a policy that they will of the people, the will of the people in the area should always prevail. Power does not encourage, power does not discourage. Yet power has let it be known that it does not favor the idea of President Tubber resignation. Now the progressive and many of these students in America now that because here's the thing here. The same thing today you can still make that argument. Pa is saying you're not here in Liberia. Many of us are here. You over there in America, you want a man to resign. You know who come in? That man, we can make noise, but we can deal with him. And that was the belief of part of many of the progressive at the time. That Tubber was somebody they can do business with, even if it's being rough. But he was not going to go and just execute people anyway. So, but the student here in the United States, many of the students, they want to Tubber out. Okay? So, Pi said, we're not in support of that. The progressives said, we're not in support of that. Okay? Uh, despite his fault and the many despite his fault and there are many, Dr. Tubber is by far the most open-minded. Samson too. I told you guys that even the progressive themselves knew that Tubber was the most open-minded person they can deal with. So the fear of the progressive, and they were not calling the resignation for Tubber at the time was because of that. They believed Tubber was someone who they can do business with. But the hardliner in the government, the hardliner of a two-way party, they were not having it. I told you already. Tubber believed strongly that if you were to open it up, you are going to defeat anyone that facing. Because Tubber and the elite were loved by Liberians all over the country, especially the older folks. Now, the young folks, on the other hand, has a different issue. Have a different issue, especially the young folks in Monrovia. They didn't believe that two-way party was anything but a corrupt political party that have no interest of sharing political power with anybody except for themselves. In fact, there was a rumor. And that rumor was dispelled by me, by the way, when I went to the executive mansion immediately after the coup and looked behind the chair of the president. Because many Liberians believe they said it was something written behind the chair of the president, say, don't forget the pioneers' children. So the very first thing when the coup happened, the very first thing, once I had the opportunity to go to the mansion, the very first thing I wanted to do was to look at that chair. I went and looked behind the chair, and he said nothing like that. And you think we're going to say that not true? We will milk it, and we milk it through the bank. Sadly, though, sadly, things didn't turn out the way we thought it would be. Okay, so this is the one. All right, let me see. Okay, I got about 10 more minutes. Let me start another one. So again, folks, Samson told Labro Pabrito, I'm here this evening, doing some, and these are all it says here, as you can see, revolution. I don't know whether you can see it. The revolution. Okay. So I just read October 15. This is December. So let's go to October 31st, 1979. That was when things were hot. Now, what I'm going to do once this is done, when I'm done reading these things, okay, I will then go back. Because Tubber had again, folks, those of you that tuning in now, we say thank you, welcome, happy New Year to all of you, Mr. CEO. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you very much for everything you did last year, and you continue to do. We pray for a long life that you will continue to do what it is that you do best for this network. Okay, so when I'm done reading these, I told you guys also that Tubber listener, and I know many of you remember this. He was saying his one of the slogans he has from mat to mattress. Now, think about it. From mat to mattress. So who were those that was on a mat? And who was those that was on a mattress? Why was he saying he want to take people? Why was he saying he want to take people from a mat to mattress? What was the reason? Because he believed, and I will go through that. I'm just showing you what the progressive was thinking about the government at the time. But I will go back and bring out from the perspective of Tubber and things that he has done and things that he was doing to improve the lives of the many Liberians, except it was done too quick, according to the progressive. You are not doing fast enough. Especially The vocals and among the progressive too now, among the progressive, among the progressive, there were those we consider hardliners, especially our brothers and sisters from the Nima County. They will have no patience. They had no patience whatsoever. They wanted the government to, because yes, they think about the folks from Nima County. Many of them grew up, they're from Nima County. And Nima County has land core. But the development progress that was promised them was not being done. And they themselves have seen it. And they were witnessing firsthand. And so for you to ice them, your way small, it was difficult. And the highliner, they don't believe in trouble will change. No, it was a struggle within the progressive. How do we do this? Because the progressive themselves, don't get me wrong now, they were there, agitated, whatever you want to call them, but they were very concerned after April 14 because they didn't expect that Taba officials were going to turn the guns on their own people. They thought it was just going to be muff. And when it turned sour on us, among the progressive, after that, the progressive, they had among the progressive, there were people who were concerned because that was exactly the argument the Moja group was having. You have this thing that you have no control. When guns start shooting, you will have, because they also were quite aware of what was happening in South Africa. So it's not like Liberia was isolated. And because of that, there were those within the progressive that said, we're going too fast up again. But the highliner, especially the brothers and sisters from Nima County, whom have seen the resource, their own natural resources that's supposed to come through Nima for the benefit, were benefiting people in Monrovia. They were not happy. And they could not wait. They could not wait. And whatever it took, they were ready to do it. They were ready to do it. So late, just before he died, DK Wansley was in Canton, Ohio, and I spent I think about 3 weeks or so with him. We had a lot of conversation about those days, about the president at that time, president government, the old government, and we talk a lot. He explained, and if he were to be alive, he would be one of those that perhaps will make a strong case of why Liberia went to war. Okay, but that's another day. And I got it. I just pray for long life. I got those things. Maybe your thing I had to come for around with. I got them under control. But anyhow, so inside the progressive, their argument were not always the same. The likes of Oscar Queer and one other guy they called Soiree, I think Soiree or Soiree, were those that were pragmatic in their approach. They wanted not to give in, but to give room for true negotiation. Because they, including Dr. Don, Marcus Don, who was the original Secretary of Propaganda, Minister of Propaganda of PAD, Progressive, Marcus Don. Remember when they were looking for people to arrest, they had a picture of it. I will show you a picture one day. I don't even know if I got it here. Let me see if I got it. If I got it here. Okay, but there was a certain group of them that believe, yeah, we can go, but let's give room, because they also were hearing those people that wanted the fine line. They were hearing from the country, the chiefs back home. They were the chief from back home. That saying what you're doing in Monterey is not good for us. Because the chief back home, back in the interior, their concern was when the young people from Monrovia start attacking or started questioning, and their position become weakening. And the chiefs back home, they don't get paid, by the way, and they depend on the powerful position to be able to keep law and order. And their fear was if the progressive continue to do that, and their position as chiefs is weakening, they will not be able to control the young people when they start violating the laws. And so I'm telling you, it was hectic. It wasn't something small. It wasn't something small that the progressive was dealing with. It was nothing small. They were not having fun. And then as I get older, I started respecting, and I'm reading some of Marcus Matthew writing to his colleagues. I started having more respect for him to be able to hold a group together that long, because many of them were educated. And one of the things they wanted to do, and they were not successful, was to have some sort of a meeting with the progressive, where young people would come in to attend, and they would be able to explain to the young people, except for what they were doing at Coconut Plantation. Coconut Plantation was just to riot us up. It was not there. Coconut Plantation, the place, they were not there to actually educate us. They were there to point out the fault of TUI party, and for us to agree with them. Okay, but let me see. Let me see if I can find Dr. Dom. I'm not too sure if I have it here. Give me a minute. I do have his regular. I mean, when he became a PhD, I have. I mean, when he was young. When he was young, in the things of the progressive. But anyway, I'll find those up, and I'll try to bring them up from time to time. But folks, I still have time. I still have time. Now this is the other one, the progressive, October 31st, 1979. Let's remember now, after the Rice Riot, 1979, in the history of Liberia, it becomes a very pivotal point in Liberia, in Liberian history. Most things, great, good or bad, is always uh, surround the 1979. Okay, the Rice Riot has always been the hallmark of the failure of any Liberian government. If you hear people start complaining about Rice Riot 1970, that means that government is failing miserably. If the Rice Riot of 1979 start coming up, that means the government is failing miserably. I'm just giving you guys a hint here. So yes, 19 October 31st, 1979, the revolution, the voice of the revolution, published by the Progressive Alliance for Liberia, and the paper came about. I think I read that earlier. It came about because the Liberian government has so much control of the social media at the time, has so much control of the media institution in Liberia at the time. So the progressive, they have no other means to have their message across. In fact, it was came a time that this paper could not be read in the street of Monrovia without you being arrested. These were papers that were being clandestinely supplied, made available to Liberia. And if you have it, you do that. Then you put it on your shirt and you read it at home. And before you read it in the presence of a lot of people, you got to be very careful, because these were considered subversive activities those days. So it was not something that was just in a so you can go buy. No. But let's go ahead. In this issue, Clue continued party conference. In the cause of the people, the struggle continued. Power calls for Dr. Tuber for call on Dr. Tuber for all party conference. What is African socialism? Okay, so I told you guys before, right? Tuber one what he called how do you call it, humanistic capitalism. And another president, Julius Nyerere from Tanzania, wrote a book and called that African socialism. It's a village mentality. If a village mindset where everyone come together and contribute to make the village better. Everybody work as a group. At the end, though, each of us will divide what we put in. You get what you put in. Okay? But Tobo was not a fan of that. Tobo believed that if you develop the human mind and develop the human capacity, that they don't have to put something in a bank, in a bowl, that they themselves can develop and do things for themselves and get themselves rich. But that the government should be able to provide that opportunity for Liberians to be successful. And this is what the divide always been in the two-way party. There were those who said, no, we can't give these people that kind of power. Because first of all, they own the land. And if you give them that at that time, when Lofa became a bread basket, there were many two-way party members, hardliner, didn't like that at all because food will not be coming from Monrovia, they were saying. If food is not coming from Monrovia to supply the rest of the country, they will have problems. Okay? They wanted Liberia to be the only, Monrovia to be the supplier. So when people started calling Lofa County the breadbasket of Liberia, many people in the two-way party were not quite keen on that. Okay? But Tobo, on the other hand, and just within that same time, he decided to make Peda Dalit the focus point of Liberian language. He wanted Peda Dalit to be taught. It was the man was just he was a genius too anyway. But anyhow, so many people started questioning, many people in the two-way party started questioning why would Tobo try to concede to these people when he knew very well that would be the downfall of their society. Okay? So, but anyway, let's go on. Below the dust of the clock, you watch at behind time. Throw open the heavy curtain which are so dear to you. You do not even suspect that the day has already dawned outside. Blind leading the blind. When people read for two about it, but the thing about it that you have to understand also is that, as I keep saying this, many of the progressive, they have their root in the two-way party as well. Their family members are members of the two-way party at a higher level. So they knew all of them. They knew their behavior, they knew their capacity, they knew what they can do and what they cannot do. They knew the praise singer, they knew the hardliner. So they were quite aware of their tactics. You do not even notice that you are one in the opposite direction from one you yourself unannounced. At this time of crisis, you are incapable of suggesting anything constructive, anything good for the society, which is gravely sick. Only your hatred, your hate, your vengeance, you hold on and do not want to give power because you claim article fall apart. Your venge mind start falling, but you have no argument. This is Alexander Sofuyanka, the guy back in, I believe it was 1980 or 81. He was a guy that used to be a good writer in Soviet Union, and Soviet Union kicked him out. And they sent him because he has a Jewish background. They kicked him out. I think he ended up here in the United States, or he went to Europe, but he wrote that. In the course of the people, the struggle continued. A few days ago, the following letter reached the desk of Honorable Joseph J. F. Chesson, the Minister of Justice. Now, let me say again, Honorable Chesson, until that time, he was considered to be, not only considered, but he was, considered to be, how do you call it, perimacy. He was poor man lawyer. If you're pulled from Grand Union County, you got problem in Liberia, you reach him. If he takes your case, you're good. So he was poor man lawyer, they call him at the time. But however, I don't know what happened. They were able to convince him to join the two. Well, he was always a member of two party, but he was able to go to justice minister. So, okay. Progressive Lion of Liberia. Okay. Peel back, blah, blah, blah. Honorable, this is a letter to Chelsea now. Let's listen to this. Honorable Joseph J.F. Chelsea, Minister of Justice, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Minister Chelsea, I have the honor to note that we have received information to the effect that Mr. Garo Weir, a member, this is the thing that you're listening to, a member of this organization is on a detention in Grand Union County. I want you to connect these things from time to time. In Grand Union County, if this is true, we will be pleased were you to kindly inform us the nature and circumstances of the offense. We might wish to provide him a legal counsel. In the cause of the people, the struggle continued progressively. Gabriel Bacchus Matthew. In response to this letter, now you can't, let's see. In response to this short letter here. Okay. In response to the following, Minister Chelsea was quick and to send a following lengthy letter. Republic of Liberia, Minister of Justice, 10/12/72. You know, those days, that's how they put the letterhead. I mean, letter. That's how they know what number the letter is, what have you. October 12, 1979. Mr. Chairman, your letter of October 8, 1979, in respect of the information you allege you received regarding Mr. Gerald Weir, who is purported to be a member of your organization being in detention in Grand Union County, is hereby acknowledged. And I received your letter on a answer this morning. In respect of the information you require, this is to inform you that as far as the record of this country shows, this country shows, there is no officially new organization registered in keeping with the law by the name of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia, PA. Maybe such an organization exists in the United States of America, as evident by the official heading of the paper upon which you wrote your letter to me. I also note from your letter that you have the colored paragraph, therefore, in the closing paragraph, therefore, in the cause of the people, the struggle continues. I do not know what people cause in America, in an American organization by the name of PA regarding this country. Can I understand what type of struggle continuing in respect of the citizen and resident of this country? Hereby, your PA organization has been authorized either legally or constructively to represent, and if so, what sector of the population and or resident your alleged organization represent in struggle, as I do not know of any struggle which continue in this country among our people and residents. Therefore, as Minister of Justice of this country, I desire to know from you the basis of your authority as well as the nature of the struggle which continue in this country, for which you are designated or elected head of chairman, as well as the name and address of the people who in interest you represent as chairman of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia. This was the beginning of the fall of Joseph Chelsea. This letter. This particular letter, immediately after the coup, this letter was brought up again among the coup leaders. True story. Among the coup leaders. That this man who used to represent the Progressive Alliance of Liberia, this man who was quite aware of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia, this man who used to be considered the poor man lawyer, would come and write such a letter, condescending letter. This letter was the downfall of Joseph Chelsea. If you don't know that, I'll tell you that today. Okay, so this letter immediately after the coup when they started looking for people. This was one of the things that they had Chelsea on that list. This letter. This letter. Chelsea is telling the progressive, who are you? What struggle that is going on in this country that we, the government Republic of Liberia, don't know about? And who are you representing? Oh, we know you're in the United States Progressive Alliance, but you're in the United States, and then you say you got representative here, you're representing people here. Who are you representing? Tell us what struggle it is. So perhaps if the government can fix it, we can fix it. But you can't be in the United States and tell us that there's a struggle here. The main question they're asking, you have somebody in jail. What the problem is, if we can provide legal assistance to that person, for Chelsea to come and write this, he's quite aware of this struggle. This is by this letter he wrote here. October 12, 1979. That's way past for October. I mean, that's way past for April 14 rice riot, where Chelsea himself was able to convince Bacchus Mafia to surrender, was able to take Bacchus Mafia to the president's office. And now he's going to come here and write this kind of letter. That was very, very, very much it got most progressive so angry. So when the coup took over, when the coup happened, when they started looking for people, this letter was brought up. I was there. Okay. Don't worry that water, I'm not drinking juice. That's your problem. So, in keeping with Chelsea still writing now, in keeping with law and procedure known to me, only a recognized lawyer who has paid in full into the revenue. Joseph Chelsea. Joseph Chelsea, you're kidding me this evening. May his soul rest in peace. In keeping with the law and procedure known to man, only a recognized lawyer who has paid in full into the revenue of the Republic of Liberia has licensed for the year in which he practices his authority to represent anybody charged with crime and who has been arrested. This applies even in civil cases where defendant are arrested upon writ of attachment. As far as my knowledge goes, the Constitution of Liberia, Article 1, Section 6 state in its relevant portion the following: every person injured shall have remedy therefore by due course of law. Justice shall be done without skill, deny or delay, and in all cases not arising under material law or martial law or upon impeachment, the party shall have a right to a trial by jury and to hear in person or by counsel or both. Chelsea he's not only being condescending in his letter, but he's telling the PAB member now, Bacchus Matthew, to say, look, not only do you not have the right to ask me questions, but in this country, the law said these are the people that's supposed to represent anybody who is charged in any kinds of crime, whether it be civil or criminal, whatever it is. But these are the people that's supposed to represent any criminal case or be involved in any criminal cases in Liberia. And not only that, am I saying it, but here's the Constitution to back that. And he put that in there. He coming now. In view of the fact that you have not been arrested and detained, and as far as I am aware, you have not been given power of attorney by any part of the citizenry and resident of this country to represent them in the struggle. For indeed, a struggle means that there is some conflict between two or more party or person. And as far as I know, no such struggle exists in Liberia. You see there? He denied that Liberia have issues. We just have rice riot. And you said there's no struggle. There's no struggle. This letter was the bedrock of people looking for chess in that time. Okay, so let me go on. Let me go on. No such struggle. Okay, blah blah blah. No such struggle exists in Liberia. For if anywhere the case and my ministry had not maintained the struggle, then indeed I would be neglecting in the discharge of my duty and therefore violating my oath of office. Hence, I am not in the position to accede to your request. But since you have indicated to me that there is a struggle among the people and residents of this country, I am inviting you to this ministry to tell me where this struggle continues and the venue thereof, as well as as well as to present to me your power of attorney to represent the cause of the people. Please do not fail as I desire to meet you in conference Monday morning, October 15, 1979, at the hour of 10 o'clock. Um, and you have the right to bring along with you any member of your alleged organization. Kind regard, Rally Time. You're very truly yours, Joseph J. F. Chester, Minister of Justice. Mr. Bacchus, Gabriel Bacchus Matthew, Chairman. Okay, these are the people you say you don't recognize. You don't recognize them because they are not registered. A few months ago, PA wanted to register to make their position legal. You refused them. Now you say you don't recognize them. This letter was at the backbone of Chesing involvement in whatever happened. Okay. Mr. Chesing letter which called for a conference Monday morning, October 15, 1979, at the hour of 10 o'clock was hand delivered at PA headquarters on Monday, October 15, 1979, at the hour of 10 o'clock. He wanted me with that 10 o'clock, but they delivered at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, folks, again, if you're listening, Samson told this evening, having fun here. I want to thank all of you. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to all of you. Let me finish this here, and then we'll call it quit for the night. But anyway, so this is the letter that Chesing wrote to Pa that he wanted to meet with, and the letter was delivered on 10 o'clock. Chairman Matthew prepared a letter and went with it to see the minister at 12 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. You think we here to come play around? When the entire Chesing office, when he entered Chesing's office, he met about 20 officials who have been waiting there, along with the news media. Apparently, Mr. Chesing had fought hard and provided timely notice to everybody else except the chairman. So by the time he got into the office, there were 20 government officials over there waiting. Monrovia was not an easy, no, to be honest with you. Two-way party, they knew very well they were in trouble. They just don't want, they didn't want to admit, and they refused to accept, but they were in trouble. Chesson began speaking, dressed in a three-piece suit with a pipe in his hand. He looked very much like an old style American banker. He spoke at length and covered the issue raised in his letter. He did not hesitate to stress the seriousness of the matter and to note government extreme concern. Matthew indicated that the minister's letter was delivered late and he had appeared only out of respect for the government and as a courtesy to Honorable Chesney, who served the Republic of Liberia as a cabinet minister. The most he was prepared to do, he said, was to deliver a letter. He handed it to Minister Chesney. It reads, Marcus Matthew replied, now, it reads, Mr. Minister, I have received your letter, blah, 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 of October 12, 1970, in which you notice your desire to meet me today at 10 o'clock for a conference at your ministry so as to discuss some issue you have raised. As you may observe from the lookbook of your messenger, the letter was delivered to me this morning, 10 o'clock. The time factor has not afforded me an opportunity to truly study the content of the document. However, we have observed your continuing interest in our organization, and we are here, and we are therefore pleased to forward you some information material in case of in the cause of the people, the struggle continue. Barker repeating himself again. Barker too, he was high there. The government of Liberia have not seen it. They were not let detour then. This kid was high headed. He was not about to cave anything. You know, there was something else, and I have that also. They had a meeting in Canton, Ohio, back in 19, I believe it was 19, out of 75 or 76. And Bacchus Johnson, Wesley Johnson, Bacchus Matthew, Marcus Don, and I believe one other guy from Cleveland. They went to the meeting, and the Secretary General at the time was late coming to the meeting. And according to the note that I also have here, Bacchus questioned the Secretary General resiliency in that he said to him, and I'm paraphrasing him because I don't have the note before me, you're here in a peaceful country of the United States where there's no pressure dealing with you from the government of the United States. Yet you are late coming to this meeting. What if we were in Liberia where the fire is going to be hot? Should we even count on you showing up? He said, and I in my eulogy to Baka Masu when he died, I wrote a eulogy, by the way. I mentioned that. He also said, if we have people like you in this organization at the top level, then I think our seriousness must be questioned by the Liberian people. He was not ready to kowtow to anybody. So let me go. Chesney inquired of Chairman Matthew as to how much time would be needed to study the minister letter. The chairman said indeed a week. So Chesney said, okay, send the people deliver, but the thing 10 o'clock, you got to time. How long you think you say, give me a week? What are you going to do? Two party was already in trouble. What are you going to do? Give me a week. But if it appeared during the analysis that more than time will be needed, the Minister of Justice will be duly notified. Mr. Chesney offered the chairman 2 weeks as a compromise. On October 22nd, a week following the meeting with Chesney, the organization sent the Justice Minister the following letter. Yeah, that was not your two people that you're not the only people that know book. The progressive also know, but where you coming come play bogey for? That was not easy stuff. Let me see how far I get. Okay, all right. So I think it's let's call this. Let's call this. I will next time when we meet, I will read this letter. But what I'm gonna be doing this year though, what I'm gonna be doing this year, uh, I will be going home in late January. At the end of this month, I will be going home to bury my son. And when I come back, I think I already have the ears of the CEO, and we will try to do this a program of historical reading on Saturday. Because truly I enjoy doing this anyway on a Saturday, but Saturday early, so that brothers and sisters back home will be able to participate. Okay. So tonight we thought we do the happy new year to all of you. Let's continue to pray for one another because it's very important that we continue to. Now the CEO I'm talking about the real CEO and not approve. I'm talking about the real CEO. But man, what are you giving me a hard time for? I thought you say you're happy what I'm doing again at the boat. You say you're happy with the boat chair. So where you coming right all the boat here for? So let me go ahead. Tomorrow we will be here with Mr. Soul, and then Liberian politics as usual will take over. But it's very interesting, very very interesting. In the reason here when I start, I want to read from the perspective of the Tui party and Tava. Tava was really really going through a lot. To be honest with you, those days he wanted to free himself and the Tui party. He wanted to free them, but the Tui party was not having it because they believed they were going to be there and nobody was going to stop them. What they didn't count on was the resilience of the progressive. I have the letter when Bako was in jail. Remember they threw Bako in jail after the arrest, right? When he turned himself in. So when Bako was in jail, many of the um, I'm not going to call them progressive two-way party, but many of the people, the pragmatic two-way party people that wanted some sort of a sense of unity among Liberians, they secretly went to visit him in prison at the Bacter Training Center. They went to visit him and suggested to him to write a letter, a conciliatory letter to Toba. At first, Bacchus resisted that he has done nothing wrong except to stand up for his people. And his argument was, I did nothing wrong. I did exactly what the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia want me to do. And those arguments were from the two party member that were saying, what good would it do you in the jail cells? How can you bring about a change and the changes that you're fighting for in the jail cells? Don't you think it would be better if you have that opportunity to continue to preach from the street than to be in a jail cell? And that argument won Bacchus over, according to the story. And so he decided, okay, I'm going to write a letter. And then one of them suggested, as they were leaving, according to the story as well, as they were leaving, he turned around to Bacchus and said, write as a good boy. So his Bacchus' reply was, what do you mean by good boy? He said, you know what I mean. Write the president as a good boy. And Bacchus decided, okay. And Bacchus is a very smart, very, very intelligent guy. If I had few conversations with Wesley Johnson in Rhode Island. Of course, I was a grown up, but sometimes I think of myself like, wow, the things because I sat with him one time and talked with him, and he gave me some information. Of course, I was with Marcus down for more than years and years and years, so I got a lot of story from him as well. And so But Bacchus decided when he sat in that jail to write the letter. Longhand, very interesting letter. I will read it. Yeah, I got a copy of it. I will read it. Yeah, very, very interesting letter. I know many of you have read that letter before. And in the letter, he decided to, you know, any leader, just like Donald Trump, you praise them, they like you. You don't praise them, you and them fall apart. So, of course, Bacchus wrote that letter. And Tava, having read the letter, decided to have a conference. First, what he did was secretly as well. He had a conference with Bacchus' letter in hand with the some of his religious leaders that are close to him to discuss. And according to Insider, the question was, you're not going to kill him. So use this letter to let him out. And so that letter, Tubba replied the same day. The man in jail, he wrote Tubba replied the same day. And we have that reply as well. If that look. That'd be right history. But the reason I'm doing all of this is not that I got nothing to do. For Christ, I'm an engineer. I got a lot of engineering work to do. An engineer, roadway engineer, that's a small thing you got to do. I got a bridge to prepare by tomorrow. And I enjoy my job anyway. So make it easier. No, truly, truly, God has blessed me to enjoy the designing part of it. I have to by the 8th, I have to do the whole job. Not quite 100%, but they call it 60%. I have to do the staging of the project, how the people are going to come when they're doing the construction, what truck, what car going to be, and all that. I have to do the staging. Not the kind of Montreal, Ralphie Highway staging they did over there now. They're not bamboo coming put up. They want a serious staging where you have to actually calculate the distance of the medium and how you what kind of curve you put in it. Because if you're going to be doing 60, 65 miles an hour, then because it's a construction zone, maybe 55 miles an hour, they will reduce the speed. But you design for higher speed. So in case some man from Total not thinking well, he thinks that he can drive anyway. So you design for higher speed. So all of those things, I got a lot of now that I don't have nothing to do. I got a lot of things to do. But I enjoy this as well. The CEO has given us the opportunity here to do these things, and we really, really appreciate it. And I want to also take this time tonight to say thank you to Mazura Gisi, to say thank you to Nathaniel Crypoor, to say thank you to all of the folks, Aaron Jeru, Alan Jeru. Thank you guys very much because all of us work hard from the beginning, and we're still keeping it. We'll continue to keep the light going. The CEO has continued to turn the lights on this platform, and we'll do our best as long as he's there to support us. He better not run away from us because we will not let any put. I'm warning all of your political party, any political party member, you're trying to take the CEO that Supreme Court will divide us. It's an intellectual property for LPR. You know what it means? Intellectual property for LPR. You can't just grab him and take him away. We will fight you all the way to the Supreme Court. Whether you agree with go away or not. And like I said, he doesn't know that, but I know the LPR already have a paper on him where we register him as intellectual property for LPR. He doesn't know that. He thinks he's some kind of free man. No, we got control. The board has already instituted people, and we register him as an intellectual property for LPR. Ain't going nowhere. You can't. Hey, one can't. You're not going nowhere. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The Supreme Court, anybody that try to take Mr. So from this platform, the Supreme Court will divide us. You think that small thing? We got papers. Register him as intellectual property for LPR. You come and consider and say because he man know how to tell you want taking away. It's not happening, you. It's not happening. Maybe in this he can give you advice behind the scene, I don't care. But for him to leave and go to other platforms and say he's sitting and promoting other, it's not happening. LPR is strong and he's an intellectual property. We register him duly, pay for the registration, and we can prove that. So, with that, folks, Happy New Year. We will be here again tomorrow and talk. Let me see. Let me. I don't know if I want to open a line here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me just see if anybody want to call in here. I can't just leave it. All my thoughts I tell you tonight. Let me see if anybody want to call in. If you want to call in, that's fine. Give me your 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you have anything to say, okay, we'll go to 9:30. We should be 6:30 here. Okay. So give us a call here 916-533-2004 and see if you have anything you want to talk about before we call it quit for the night. All right. Um, Look at that one there. Walter Carter, let me tomorrow. Let me tomorrow. Then you ask that kind of question. I don't know about CEO, but for me, I'm a big uncover Unity Party. I support the president. I don't uncover the Unity Party. I big here Unity Party. The people who a president back and seek re-election. The campaign I will run against you. I got all their on force error as well. You minister information. Then you there saying God told Joy we are that you are not going to win. Joy we are when he's standing before the pulpit again, he making God vex. Since when you became ordained to prophesy that your job now as minister of information, that your job, I'll deal with on that. Don't worry. So what I call that? If you think I'm uncovered Unity Party, you're mistaken. I'm undercover, overcover, on whatever cover you want to say. Supporter of President Baka and his agenda. You don't see anything you will talk about CDC. Let me go home and come back because I'm going to document. And this time I'm using drone to fly over the road. And I'm going to use camera like that. I use drone to fly in front of my car. When the battery finish, I come and bring it down, put another battery in and fly over the car on the road. So we'll see. I know, and that's everyone will always see it. Whether the Unity Party have done a good job on the road, we'll see. So I think you're saying that I mean that I anything else. Okay. All right. Nobody want to call. Thank you for not calling. We appreciate it. Good night. Let's meet on Mr. Soul Show tomorrow. It's been a wonderful. What you might call? What you might call? Uh, okay, Walter Carter, Breakable, Aaron Harris. Thank you, guys. So who calling? Walter Carter, good evening. Happy holiday. Happy New Year. What's on your mind, sir?
I called to say Happy New Year to the liberal, and then liberal talking Tabata. So I got a call. So, may God continue to bless you. This new year give you long life, prosperity, good health, and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you say you're going Liberia and you will fly to showcase what this government is doing. I hope when you go, don't put it through on some job we are rolling in bill. And you can't tell us
folks, this is Walter Carter. You already laying the groundwork to deny my and I will play this thing. He laying the groundwork now to deny and tell me that job we are rolling. You see how yeah? Liberians are very smart. You know, if Liberia was, if Africa, the entire continent, were to say if one country we want to have election, anybody from Liberia go against any African to go to be Liberia, all we win. Propaganda, we part our job. We even start, even come by you. He now start laying the groundwork already. Think he gonna say.
I'm driving in so Yeah, man. How you spend the New Year? Everything. How you spend the New Year? You and the family.
Yeah, everything went well. The family, we all have fun, laugh, pray in the morning. We got up in the morning. All my kids, we pray. With a
That's
wife, we
nice.
pray. Everything went well after the prayer. We those who are gonna eat, they you know what, they eat it. Those who eating American
Yeah.
food are eating it, and
Ah.
so yeah, Clarence David, he is just dishonest. Clarence David say.
Time will follow. That time you know the follow.
I don't even come by here. The people start already. But people, this is what I love about LPR.
The rest with you know about rest with you, don't worry. We know our hand mark, we know our landmark, we know everything. So let the labor go put a drone in the air. I must say I get my drone, I'll put it in the air too.
Okay.
So for labor, the story, I mean the letters you were reading, those information are very, very important. Um, it's just to show you how the crackdown of people freedom or civil liberty was not only after our coup. I mean, it was before then.
Oh, of
And then
course.
when I listen to Liberians, they say, normal day before President Doak in the power. Oh, the country was okay. No, the country was not okay.
There was
The country was
nothing.
not okay. The people subjected our people to cruelty. The people have taxation with all representation. You have farm, they have government farms in villages. They will take the people to make the people to make farm, throw the crops on the road, and the people are not benefiting from nothing that the government are giving them. No hospital, no school, and nothing. It was sad. People just saw Liberia in Monserrato, and not even in the time Monserrato, Monrovia.
Monrovia.
And they consider Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia. But when you drive outside of Monrovia, it speaks volume.
Yeah, but just to show you, back in the days, the quota went to Monrovia, started with Tubman Fund, eh?
Yeah, would have been tall. If Monserrato was that great place and go past Painesville a little bit, and then you see whether there was any development on that road. I mean, in Liberia, except for Monrovia. And that's the sad thing people don't understand. You got all the natural resources in the hinterland. The people in Monrovia are the people that are benefiting, and few people benefiting from the natural resources for over 100 and more years.
Right.
And then how you expect the country to just transform overnight? That's why I keep telling people, this thing is not from the Civil War. The problem we have in our country started from our inception. From the time we became independent as a nation, when our brothers and sisters came from this part of the world and went there, the intention was not to make that country a great country. The intention was to go somewhere, stay, and just implement the same cruelty that they experienced here on the indigenous people that met over there. And they thought they were doing it to the people, but they did it to themselves. Okay? All of the wealth they got, they needed to from the country, is useless to them. Look at Tubman. Tubman, in all his property in Bahamas, in Apple. Nobody can even renovate it.
Nope.
His children are educated. Some say they got money, but it's a property laying in room today. Nobody. I saw Mark the horse. You remember Mark the horse?
Yeah.
Up there. So Mark the got family anymore. None of his family. Nobody can do nothing with the houses. All the people that are in government. Look at the two-party building. That building, the Liberian government should take that building over, because that building was a two-party. Who you consider two-party? So one, all Liberian contributed towards that the structure over there. So how can you put it to one party now? We have only one party in the country, so it means every Liberian contributed towards it.
Exactly.
So the government should take that building and renovate that place, or break it down and put some structure up there.
No, but the building is structurally is still sound. You can't break it down. Just renovate it and make it into another office.
your engineer and think if they can examine it and say it's strong, fine.
No,
But
it's still strong. Nothing.
keep on
I was
doing
there. I didn't see no crack. Nothing. The building is they build it real well.
Yeah, so why they can't turn that place over to the Liberian government? Let them put like, right across from the EJ Road, they got a bank. What the bank? The central bank. Look how beautiful central bank is. If you renovate that structure, you see that place will look nice.
And I simply they have the telecommunication area in
yes.
Area, right?
In a same place. So National Bank, former National Bank, is what they call Central Bank now. Telecommunication in front of telecommunication behind there a little bit, going towards the Gabriel Tucker Bridge. Telecommunication down that side a little bit, and then EJ Road on the side. Then you got the law library before you got the Tender Pavilion, or
right.
Yeah, but you could do something over there. The building sitting out over there, if I didn't get money again, so it would just stay in the middle of the lobby there and made it sit a little ugly.
Thank you. Well, anyway, let meet on Mr. Soul Show tomorrow.
Hopefully we'll be there. That's the real show there. Where no Tabata exists.
Okay. All right. We'll be the counterweight for you. All right, God. Walter Carter, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy holiday. Happy New Year.
Appreciate the same.
All right. Again, folks, with that said, we're going to bring the curtain down tonight. We say thank you very much for all of you. Clarence, David, thank you. I know you were just waiting for them to come so you can pounce on it right away. Thank you, guys. Good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful thing here to have. Mr. CEO, thank you as usual. Appreciate it. And we'll say good night to all of you. Let's meet on Mr. Soul Show tomorrow where we're going to pick up again. Well, like I said, with a counterweight of the conservative ideas, they're called disguiding themselves, calling themselves independent. Well, independent, my fault. We know who you guys are. The conservative will be in here to make sure we're the counterweight. With that, good night, folks. Samson told La Bropa Radio. Happy holiday, happy New Year. Let's pray for one another. Let's see you very soon. Good night.
So, le Diboussou, Chablo Yanta, le Saba Boy, Saba Yoga. Le Enclave Bamondi, on va pas où est le loin. Le Bocolo est à Bobé, le Nouveau, le Fino, le Kéra, pour avoir son école comme mon père. Je suis Chablo dans son eau. Bonne Joja, bonne comme un way, il y a tout le monde à Saint-Louis. Le Bocolo, Joja, Sian, bonne comme un way. Elle me sait voler la trouve sur le Nouveau. Pauni baso mono suta mumbe o nwadewa ara luki pauni baso mono suta mumbe o klo ani abie sogo abaira konu kwedu sialuwe na chawe sialuwe bo biewe na gebere klaluwe sedre yokonwo na mabako wede no wa ko isi akole la tuwo sunanu ni wele na mabako mo so wa ke no ko di fo awe mo na da fi o sonwe ye tamo bien do mo igbe o Jojo, mama. Come away, and I say, go let out to us who are no new weather. What does our way by your coin? We are no trouble there. Jamuni Potter, you to Potter, one who lie on to her, but power than more. One I say, go let out to us who are no new weather. Well, I know my command, and my God reminds you that name I know it. Monje tela yomba o, mosu ina yo, monje tiama yomba, na mo wa uluo. Monje che ada yomba, na mosu ina yo. Wela juru wa o, ya luigi pote wa o. Wela nyoma jago mu, luigi pote wa o. Atati pote wa o. Ola nyoma kwa wede mo, kana te gbole la tu wa zo wenu ni were. Nigba so en so go ta mu fe o. Kefen, Made, sorry, Gelo, bébé Kari, laissez à ce que du soir le midi. La fino. Ase Idawema, et Berodi. Yala, Stéphanie. C'est de l'école d'Ivoire. Moi, ouais. Mon bon corps est dans moi. On est fait pour la tour, à tout, elle nous dit, ouais. La divason, l'oyon, tout à mon père. Yamon le pote, péri du sous-pote. Libre ya bouin sogo, il va indi. Pourquoi ouais de moi, comment est Namuo? Pourquoi ouais de moi, Salou, comment est Namuo? Il y a l'oyon du web, la canne, j'ai order. J'ai n'y a pas mon nom, j'ai order. Ouais, comment est Namu? Pourquoi ouais de moi, sous comment est Namuo?
Je rappelle que non José que Wanou le Yandai. Youssou et Sablo, Delphino de Kela. Le métan est podé. Mon doudou est mon popo yabi. De Rosette né. Pourquoi ouais d'un moi bien il est moi. Pourquoi ouais d'un moi bien il est moi. Maman t'es Rosélie. Maman t'es là qui on ne sait pas où est. Bueno